Okay, I've just picked up I've got an league match. That's against Wisła Kraków. Wisła Kraków. That's my best attempt at the correct pronunciation there. Obviously, if I've got that completely wrong, please feel free to point that out to me. They are very much last. Obviously we want to win this match. They scored 9, conceded 37. I think it pretty much all points to the fact that they've got a bad tactic set up and bad players or something or other. Athens, they're very high. They only beat them 2-0 at home. Actually picked up a 3-0 draw, so I suppose we shouldn't take anything for granted here. We should probably give them some due respect. Have a quick look. They've got oh, he's alright. Not that great, but yeah, it's okay, whatever. So they seem to have don't want to lose too much time here. Alright. Basically, I think we start with counter-attacking. I believe they're just to get hammered that hard and have a proper team, an actual proper bona fide tactic and actual decent players, which it seems that they have. To get hammered that hard, they're probably playing very attacking, so we're going to go with their counter-attacking. We actually bought a new keeper, by the way, so paid over £1 million for a backup keeper. It's pretty crazy. We also bid over £3 million for an attacking player, but we lost the auction. We weren't even second highest bidder. I think he went for 3.3 million or something. So we have decided to spend some of our money to try to improve our team, to focus a bit more on the present. But already you can see this isn't, not enough is happening here. We're going to change to direct ball. We had 2 players suspended as well, 2 really good players for us, including our best player. So yeah, this is very serious all of a sudden. A win is just far from guaranteed here. We definitely have to 3 shots in 20 minutes. We're on track to have a good 15 shots here, which should definitely get a goal. Okay. That does say it changes everything. Maybe it doesn't. 15 shots, we're on target to get probably 2 goals. It really is just a case of if we keep producing chances. I believe when we do need to go more attacking here, as soon as we get the chance. I mean, in regards to our setup on the pitch, but we don't want to burn a substitution just yet. We don't want to burn a substitution just yet because we will erode part of the advantage that exists, with condition and management and stuff. So I don't want to panic just yet. I think we can definitely dominate the match out still. A win's far from guaranteed, but honestly I think the most likely result, given how we've been, is still a win result here, at least at this point in time. I think we still have a good chance to go on and win it. So we're not panicking just yet. Obviously they are creating a bit themselves. We probably aren't creating quite enough for ourselves. Like we said, we want to go more attacking, and I think it's Okay, so oh. I think this is a positive change, so we're going to do this. I think we want to go high pressing now as well. We'll make a second substitution. We're going to bring on Billy Reynolds, I believe, pretty quickly here. Alright, we're going to do it now. We're going to take off Hodsit. Guess we're going to take off Hodsich for Reynolds. Okay. And now here comes our third substitution. So I guess we want a more attacking central midfielder here, which is Santos. And now I'm thinking we have really not been creating enough here. So I'm going to pause it. Right. We haven't been creating enough. We're just going to go... It's just roll the dice time, basically. Let's just go attacking. Let's just throw it all forward, see if we can create some chances. We'll expose ourselves but defensively, but I don't think there's any choice here. We have to see what happens if we go really attacking. See if it actually... Often it won't create that many chances for you. But sometimes it will, so it's probably worth trying. Just see how much more time passes here without us creating much. Probably too much time. I'm not quite sure whether we would expect... I think it's just going to leave it because they've repelled a few chances here, they've defended them, but all in all it feels like stuff is happening here, we're creating, and honestly I don't know. Well, that's okay. I don't know what we can do really. I guess, to try to just give our team a bit of balance still, bearing in mind we're losing here, so we've got to push on to try to score a goal here. I believe that allows us to keep the pressure applied, hopefully. They're having chances too, which is what expected. We're going all out attack, we're a man down. So we definitely expect that they're going to have some attempts as well, but I think I don't see what choice there is here but to leave it. Yeah, stuff has not been great. I think it's been close to one-way traffic since we had that player sent off. It's definitely made a difference. Okay, good though. The irony, right, is we having we're having the flow of the play, and then it would pop up with one chance after and score. So I think we just, despite everything, we don't want to settle for the draw right now. There's chances happening. They're having chances. We're having chances. It's just we just want to roll the dice and see if we can get the win. And maybe we lose. We're just going to take that chance. We don't mind, I guess, if this team gets their first win of the season against us. It'll be slightly embarrassing, but we need to give ourselves a chance to pick up the 3 points here. We've got to push for it. And we do have a chance at the death, but we didn't score it. So, right, I'm sure people will have a view here about stuff we've done wrong. Maybe too slow. Too slow to... We were quite fast, but maybe we could have been slightly quicker to change tactics. Maybe we shouldn't have started with such a defensive formation against such a weak opponent. That was probably the biggest mistake. We should have started without the holding midfielder. We should have started more attacking. We probably have made an incorrect assumption here that they're playing an attacking tactic. That is definitely the case. I think they're probably too attacking anyway. I think that was a mistake. And we checked their previous results, and we scored. They didn't actually do that badly. So maybe when you're playing against last, and you definitely want to get the win, which is what happened here, we basically played 4-1-3-2, and let the three aren't attacking. We're playing 4 across the back, holding midfielder, 3 across the middle, and 2 up front. Very defensive long ball tactic against a team that was last that we had to win. That was probably the biggest mistake. But once we started the match, we changed things. Maybe we could have done it a few minutes quicker. There's nothing we could have done about this red card because we'd made 2 subs, and then straight after the second sub we got an injury. So that was pretty unlucky, basically. I mean, bad things will happen, but this was just unlucky. And then after that, we got a yellow card, and the same players picked up his second yellow and got a red. So there wasn't really much we could do to stop that. No reasonable action we could have taken that would have changed that course, changed the chance of that happening. We know we had this shot. I think from the red card, we had 1 shot where we scored, and then we had 1 more shot at the death that we missed. Maybe after things just weren't working, we could have changed to something else. But the thing is, we're losing 1-0. We knew it had produced quite a few chances before the red card. We're losing 1-0. What are you going to do? You're going to change it to something else, or are you going to leave it to the thing that was creating chances for you? So I think, even though it didn't work too well, I think it was the correct choice to leave it. We only had 1 shot and got the goal. Maybe you could argue that after we scored that goal, we should have changed it to something else. Well, I just felt like we were going to have at least another good chance, and maybe we would have scored it. And we did have another good chance, but we just didn't score it. So I think in regards to how the match has played out, I think largely, I mean, again, I guess the other points of debate here are Hodzic, because we subbed him off, but actually he scored quite a few goals for us this season when we needed a goal. So maybe we shouldn't have subbed him off. There wasn't really any way to get Reynolds on the pitch, who was our best attacking substitute, without sacrificing him or Comas, and Comas has just scored more goals. So maybe we could have played wingers and strikers and not brought on Pavlic. Instead, at half time, we could have gone even more attacking than we did and brought on Reynolds for Morozov. So rather than playing basically 4-1-3, 4-2-3-1, we could have played basically 4-2-4. That's you can argue this one pretty well. Probably we should have done that. Well, it was certainly a valid option, but I think in hindsight the biggest mistake here was simply that we just started with the wrong tactic and the wrong lineup. We started defensively against last when we're at home, when we had to win. That's just stupid. Basically, we've just made a huge mistake there, and it's the type of mistake where realistically there's nothing we could do about it till half time. So we threw away half of a match. The advantage that we had, we threw it away for half, and then to compound that, they've also scored in that first half. So it's a bit unlucky that they scored, but the thing is, you should be able to take on a bit of bad luck in a match like this and still win. And we took on that bit of bad luck. We took on the red card and the injury, so we actually had 3 pieces of bad luck here. But honestly, I think if we start with a more attacking formation, we have those same 3 pieces of bad luck and we probably win instead. And as things stand, it's like it's 1-1, and you know, you look at the overall match stats, and all you can really say is we outplayed them a bit. It wouldn't be surprising if we won, but to be honest, you look at those match stats and it wouldn't be surprising if we lost. And if you just had to look at the stats and the injuries and the red card and put it all together, and you had to say, well, what is a fair result for a match like this? I believe the answer is a draw, and that's what's happened. So I don't think we can complain about the result here. I think we can only just resent our decision, our lack of we just made a bad choice basically with the starting formation. It's just obvious. Why were we so defensive? It makes sense to be this defensive against teams that are better than us. This was the one, maybe even the only match that we were going to play all season where the opposition was actually materially worse than us, player for player. So, I guess maybe that was the problem, because every match, generally the other team is kind of probably better than us or similar to us, and being a little bit cautious makes sense, but this just didn't make any sense, and I guess we're just not used to it because our team is so bad. I guess as an excuse, it's not a very good one, to be honest. It's a bad excuse. There's no excuse for this mistake. It's easily, well, in the end of the season, when you look at the table, when you realise what if we had 2 points more, everything that could be different. This is precisely that match where those 2 points disappeared from that should have been there. This is the match. This is where you can look at what happens in the season and you know what was your own fault. You know it was your own fault if you missed out by a couple of points. Clear as day, it was a mistake starting with this defensive formation. Okay, now that we've hammered that in enough, as you can see, top 4 looking tough, looking real tough. We're not going to give up though. At least we've got a great backup goalkeeper now, so that's going to help things a lot. I think it's going to be hard to pick up a quality player. We just tried. We actually, we can even show you. Where is he, this guy? We did try. We tried hard. We bid over 3 million for this guy. I'm sure he would have. I don't know about this. Endurance, whatever, you can argue this one. But we bid a lot for this guy. And we didn't get him. To be honest, we weren't expecting to get him with the bid, but I think though, we could have probably got this guy during the close season for less than 3 million, or this type of guy. You're basically going to get, if you pick up your senior players during the close season, you get much better value, because people essentially will sell players like this because they've got some youth player in mind that they want to bid for. So it's a great time basically to reinforce your senior squad at the end of the season, and also people are more happy to let them go because they have time to replace them and whatever. So basically the best possible time to do something about strengthening your senior team is during the close season, because everybody's thinking short term, and that's the one time where thinking long term can really do huge benefit for you in the transfer market. Whilst everybody else is thinking short term, you're picking up the players that people are funding their short term purchases with, and you're picking up players that are going to help you for the long term for a good price that you're not going to get them instantly. You're not going to get them till the end of the season. So I think we probably need to do a real proper job. I mean, we're going to try, but realistically, we'll try to pay the 3 million or whatever for players like that. Realistically, we're probably not going to get any, let alone what we need which is 3 or 4 of them to have a proper, genuinely good team. We'll make the best of what we've got here, and we will try to finish top 4. But as things are shaping up now, it's really theirs to lose. These top 4 teams, is theirs to lose at this point, and we can punch way above our weight to get to 70 points, but they're still going to be theirs to lose to drop below 70. So we'll do our best. We'll make the most of we can of this season, and we are going to spend, I believe, we're going to keep an eagle eye out for picking up quality senior players. I pledge to you basically that we're going to build a senior squad during this close season that is going to properly challenge, that is going to get a top 4 finish. Let's ignore this challenging stuff. We're going to give it our best this season. It's theirs to lose, but we hopefully can at least make them look over their shoulder at us. But next season we're going to get a top 4 finish, because we're not going to have the excuse that our team isn't good enough. I'm going to build a team that is good enough. So then the only excuse we'll have next season if we don't make it is that we, as a manager, weren't good enough. So next season we're gonna do it, and there's no reason why we can't, because we've got a huge amount of cash, because we basically sold all of our players that are worth anything, and any player that we've ever acquired that anybody's ever wanted, we've sold it to them. So we've basically got a team of rejects and a bunch of cash, so we can absolutely pull it off. And now straight away I can already see for our next match, we had some problems, and now the problems are probably even worse for the next one. So okay, alright, cool, thanks for watching, and catch you for the next match. Cheers.